Hello, everybody. This is Getrude Matshe. It is an absolute pleasure to reconnect with you this week. I am here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And I can't believe that the month of February went so fast. It's great to reconnect with all of you, and thank you to everybody who has registered so far to catch up with me, to get to connect and get to share who you are. So every week, I will be sharing a video of one of our members sitting somewhere in a different part of the world. So if you haven't booked to make an appointment to be interviewed, please get in touch with me. I think this is a really good way for us to connect and get to know each other as well. So this week, I have some exciting news. I have been given an amazing opportunity to help with the refugee community here in Melbourne, Australia. So for those of you who don't know Australia, there are a lot of refugees from Africa who have been relocated to Melbourne for various reasons, as you know. I think Melbourne has got 300,000 refugees from 10 African countries. And they had a position for a food hub coordinator. My new job is going to be called the Ubuntu Food Hub. And I just wanted to share with you what the food hub is all about and the difference that I want to make on this small little farm. So there is a farmer who gifted some land to this community. There's a lot of housing developments in the area and a huge food security shortage. All of the fast food chains have moved into this community, McDonald's, KFC, and people are slowly getting obese, and they have a huge problem with the African youth in the area. So part of my job is to work with the youth, inspire them, start all kinds of youth initiatives all around food. And I decided that I would turn this little farm into an innovative farm, a farm-to-table concept of African culinary delicacies, grown with care and harvested with love. I can see us turning this little farm into a wedding venue. I would love to grow sunflowers and have beehives for honey, but sunflowers are so visual. And this could be a wedding destination where people can come and have an African-themed wedding as well. So the changing climate of this environment is that most of the farmland is being bought out by housing developments. There is now a huge shortage of small-scale farmers and a high population increase because of the housing, and that has really impacted on food security. So like I said, there are a lot of unhealthy food outlets and challenges with the youth. And most of the youth are completely disengaged. They're ending up in the judicial system, getting involved in gangs. And that's really why I've decided to take on this job and be a part of the change that I want to see in Australia for the African community. So I'll be working with collaborators and partners to help put this all together. My position is being sponsored by the Department of Health, and it's really about building a vocational training center where there's healthy fruits and vegetables, which will lead to healthy families and have happy youth as well. So I am proposing that we build a herb garden. We grow sunflowers, we keep bees. Mushrooms are going to be the first crop that we will grow. I did some research, and oyster mushrooms will mature in 10 days. So it's a fast-growing crop that we can bring to market. I also see us teaching the youth how to make Afrocentric desserts and bakery, and maybe even a catering service as well. So when I looked at all of the other things that I could do on this piece of property, there's a lot of African women in the community who can't speak English, are struggling to get work. So we could create employment for the mothers around this project as well, with the cooking and baking, the making of crafts, art and music. I can see us going into all of the neighboring farms who grow fruit and vegetables and getting overripe peaches and apricots and cherries and creating jams and preserves. I would love to see an African craft market, selling African clothing and jewelry. Maybe we could even create a recipe book, write the memoirs of all these amazing people and their journey, and also create a talent agency in diversity, inclusion, and belonging, and getting mentorship positions for these youth in the corporate world here in Melbourne. So I think the main thing that I need to do with the youth is to fortify their African culture and really reinforce in our youth so they can remember their cultural identity and pride. We'll amplify their gifts and see where their strengths lie. It could be dance, it could be music, acting, cooking, entrepreneurship. They could be very good sportsmen within these kids, but really focusing on what they do best. So I am hoping that we'll be able to have this opportunity to build a viable project that will bridge a gap between the resettled families and the existing community. We will tap into the innovation of the youth. Most of these kids are good with social media and technology, and we have no competition whatsoever in this region. So in phase one, from February to December 2023, I'll collaborate with the local businesses and stakeholders in the community to help empower our youth. By phase two, end of 2024, we will have a viable fruit and vegetable production, maybe supplying the local cafes and restaurants and stores, and partnering with the Ministry of Youth and have a vocational training program as well. In the third year, in phase three, I can see us growing vertical hydroponic gardens. Like I said, we can pickle, we can preserve the vegetables and fruits, thriving beehives, chickens and eggs, and fingers crossed, an African restaurant and an African cafe. So I'm really excited about this project, and I put this all together just to share with you what I'm up to at the moment. And I could really do with all of your support, any ideas, if anybody has worked with youth and you had a program that works. I really want the Ubuntu Food Hub to be a contemporary, sustainable project that's empowering youth to rediscover their African heritage and tap into their full potential, and so they can use their intuitive gifts. With the community partnerships and collaborations, I really want to have a social impact that will enhance the food security in this region and bridge that gap that enhances cultural intelligence. So in my language, we have a proverb that says, Ukama igasha no sungwane chikafu, which means relationships are like fabric that is interwoven and strengthened by the sharing of food. So I do believe with this amazing project, our community could end up really creating strong relationships with the local people of the region. And I'll be working with the Rotary clubs in this area as well to help me bring this project to life. So that's what I'm working on. Watch this space. I will keep you all updated with how this goes. But do reach out to me if you have ever done anything around youth, any youth initiatives that you've worked on. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I know that within Rotary, there's some really creative people who can help me with this project as well. So have a fantastic week. I will see you next week, and bye for now.